Yeah, congratulations to Florida State. They played a great second half. They were the better football team tonight, and we certainly are not the football team that I thought we were, got to do a much better job, obviously, and developing our football team. We clearly were short in a lot of areas tonight, and that falls on me to get our football team to be better in most of the competitive areas that you saw tonight. Execution in the first half, the inability to convert in the red zone. Second half, didn't play with a sense of urgency. All of those fall on coaching and getting our players to recognize that and make those kinds of choices in practice. And then defensively, obviously, our inability to slow down the running game in the second half. The counter play was problematic for us. We knew they were going to run it. They added a two-back counter play, and we couldn't fit the play. And that's unacceptable from a coaching standpoint. You've got to be able to make those adjustments, and we failed to get that done. So, again, I take full responsibility for not having our team playing the kind of football I thought they would. And our players have got to make a decision that, they have to get back to the practice field and double down on their efforts and their attention to detail and their focus and the things that they need to do as well. But this is a total failure on a coaching standpoint and a player standpoint that we have to obviously address and we have to own, and we'll see. I know adversity is always going to strike at some time in this game, and this is our first real piece of adversity, if you will, that we have to address. And I'm confident our guys will and our coaches will rally in the manner that they need to. So with that, we'll open it up to questions.
Jacques Duce, WAP-TV in Baton Rouge. Coach, the second half, do you think it was physicality, or are you surprised that they kind of pushed you around and 31-0 run second half?
Yeah, I'm quite aware of the score, and I didn't like the way we came out. I sensed it, I felt it, and I've got to take accountability and responsibility for the way that we came out in the second half. It's disappointing, but the buck stops with me, and I've got to get our football team to understand and recognize that you've got to play this game for 4 quarters with a mentality, and we just did not. For some reason, we thought we were somebody else. We thought we were the 2-time national champion Georgia Bulldogs or something. I don't know what we thought, but we were mistaken.
Right. Just the defensive matchups that your DBs had to face all night. Clearly, they're gifted receivers. Anything that you guys can do, anything that you saw that they could have done during this game?
Yeah, obviously Coleman's a tough matchup. Wilson's a tough matchup. I thought we competed there. No, I don't know that there was much more else that they could have done.
Brian, the 4th down calls, can you take us through maybe the reasoning for those decisions there and what you would have liked to have seen done differently on those plays?
Well, I think they were pretty easy calls. 4th and goal from the 1, that was a pretty easy one. We're trying to run the football with an option for Jayden to pull it, and we'll have to just go back and look at the film and see what the looks are for him, and do a better job of addressing that in practice and giving him those kinds of pressure looks that force you to make those quick decisions. But no, those are pretty standard fourth down calls and decisions. I think both of those were, read option kinds of decisions that Jayden was confronted with.
Coach in the back, Jada Ferris, Tiger TV. What does this loss mean for the rest of the season for you guys, especially as you get into conference play?
It means everything as to what our mindset is. Like, how do we handle this? Is this who we want to be? Or do we look at this and say, this isn't the kind of football team we want to be? So, when you have these kinds of losses, they're disappointing, and in some instances they're devastating losses, but it's how you respond to them. And they have a chance to respond to this very disappointing performance in the second half. And so the choices they'll have to make will be ones that start tomorrow. How they handle themselves 24/7 is really what I'll be interested in seeing.
Hey, Coach, Glenn West, Go247. Just curious on, Logan Diggs wasn't out there tonight. Just curious maybe what happened with him. And then also the running game as a whole. Just how do you guys think you can get that going after kind of a really tough night for your backs overall?
Well, I mean, everybody's searching for balance in the running game. So we didn't have the kind of balance that we needed. Logan Diggs was a coach's decision. I don't know quite whether he's 100% and able to practice at the level that we need him to quite yet. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody's looking for that balance in the running game. You saw what we tried to do. We tried to run the football in those very important downs, and we weren't as effective. And we're going to go back and we're going to work on it, and we're going to continue to be diligent in those areas because we've got to be better at it. So we've got a minimum of 11 more games, and I'm going to tell you now that we're going to be better, and we're going to commit ourselves to that.
Coach over here, Cokie Riley with the Advertiser. I was sort of curious with Harold Perkins' performance tonight. What do you think was sort of missing from him putting a real impact onto the game?
What was missing? Well, I mean, he's playing a position for the first time, so there's a learning curve there. He's learning. He's learning how to play linebacker for the first time. We put him in a position last year where he was see ball, get ball. Now he's in a position where, he's got to get over the top. He's got a back coming out of the backfield. He's got to be disciplined and can't lose his eyes on the quarterback mesh. Fourth down. There's a lot going on there, and he's trying to sort it out. You're catching a young player early on in his career, and he's going through some growing pains.
Coach, back here in the back right, Megan Glover, KTC in Lafayette, Louisiana. Coach, with Keon transitioning to Florida State and that transition, maybe some limited film on him in that regard, what made him so difficult to defend tonight?
There wasn't any limited film on him. We knew who he was, and we knew it was a very difficult matchup for us. Excellent ball skills, a matchup, problem for us, and he presented that kind of problem tonight. Good, awesome, thank you.
Jayden right here, Bryce Kuhn from 24/7 Sports. Coach talked a lot about choices needing to be made as the leader, as the quarterback. Where does that kind of fall on you for the rest of this team? And did you see that kind of happen during this game in the second half, kind of get away?
I mean, everything falls on me. What Coach was talking about, the urgency and the choices that we make. I mean, he's right. Everything that falls back on me. Being the leader and the quarterback of the team, I got to get the guys going. I got to set the urgency. I got to set the tempo. First half we had that. We got to finish in drives that we had in the red zone. That set us back a little bit. But coming out of halftime, it starts with me and getting the guys going. And that first drive, I felt like we had some urgency. But in critical moments, I got to get the guys going. I got to set the tempo. I got to be able to push those guys because everybody's looking at me and how I maneuver day in and day out on a daily basis. I got to go back to the drawing board as a leader and see what can I do better to get this team also more prepared on a day-to-day basis.
Back here, Jayden Daniels, Ricardo LeCompte with WWF TV in New Orleans. Those 2 4th downs in the first half, how critical were those not being able to convert those? And do you feel like those are things you can learn from in terms of how you can operate better in those types of situations?
I mean, 100%. Those 2 4th downs are very critical, especially playing a top 10 opponent, a top 5 opponent that we played tonight. A very good team that's been playing together for a while. They capitalized on those type of things. So not being able to come away with points and capitalize on those opportunities, it hurt. It set us back, like I said, a lot. The second, 4th down, that was on me. I was doing too much. Just hand the ball off. Hopefully we could get into a crease and get a first down. And then the first one, I just got to lay the ball up. It's 4th down, give somebody a shot. So going back on film now, that's something I'll take to heart and look at it very critically.
Jayden Wilson, Alexander from The Advocate. The throw to Brian that didn't get completed right at the end of the third quarter, and then the interception to Malik, how much of a swing did that feel like emotionally actually down on the field, and what happened with Malik? Was there like a miscommunication there or something?
Malik just slipped. I mean, it is what it is. He slipped, lost his footing. A DB made a play, caught the interception, turned his head, and it's something that we just got to live and die with. The throw that you're talking about to Brian down the sideline, if I put it out there a little bit more, like I did the second time, the one that he did score, it would have been the same result. So it's things that just fall back on me with my technique and everything that I go through, that goes through my mind. If I put the ball out there a little bit more, Brian scores, and the game might swing our way. The momentum shifts. And the second one is just, it was football, Somebody's going to slip and fall, the DB's going to make a play. But after that, it's how did we respond back to that, and we didn't respond back in the right way.
Hey, Jayden. John Eads, WAFB. What was Florida State's defensive line doing to give your offensive line some trouble?
I mean, we got ourselves in critical second and long, third and long situations where they know that they're able to pin their ears back. And just rush the passer. So, staying out of those situations, helping the offensive line out, me getting the ball out, me sometimes making the right protection call, stepping up, taking a hit, but also delivering the ball, that's things that could change the defense. And also, pushing the urgency and the tempo, like Coach said, the second half. If we keep pushing that, maybe we tire out their D-line. We're going to give them a chance, to get set, sub in. And just go out there and pin their ears back.
Yeah, Michael Cobble, WBRZ in Baton Rouge. To hear your coach say we're not the team that we thought we were, what does that do to you? What does that stir in you?
I mean, it's just something that we got to prove to them that, we got a long season ahead, and I agree with him. We're not the team that we thought we were. We thought we were somebody else that we weren't. I feel like just as a whole team, we got ahead of ourselves. We thought we were going to come out, it was going to be easy. And, we got to step back and look ourselves in the mirror how we're going to respond to this at the end of the day. We got a short week coming up. We don't have too much time to sit back and really just think about the loss. We got to get ready for Grambling. But it's how do we respond to that? And if I know how the team is, I'm around those guys every day. I'm in the locker room with them, and I know that they respond the right way. But it's how myself as a leader, as a captain on the team, be able to go out there and prepare my guys mentally and physically on the practice field to be ready on Saturdays. Thank you.